Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Madam, and I'm coming back to you once again. This time, we're going to go over to News 1, and this is about a judge uh, who has been ordered to be pulled or removed after pulling a gun on a black man in court. The article is by Bilal G. Morris, and let's get into this, okay? A New York judge is in hot water this week after bragging about pulling a gun on a black man who appeared in front of him in court. On Thursday, the state's Judicial Conduct Commission ruled that the judge, Robert E. Potoli, be removed from his position after pulling out a semi-automatic handgun on a black defendant in the Whitehall Town Court in Washington County. After the incident, he bragged about it to his colleagues and friends for years. According to Syracuse.com, the incident happened in late 2015 or early 2016, but wasn't investigated until Potoli boasted about his actions during a judge's conference and then later to his supervising judge. Potoli, who was the presiding judge over the case, agreed to a plea deal after the defendant admitted to attacking his wife and another man with a knife. Potoli also agreed to reduce the defendant's fine to meet an amount the defendant could pay. At a later court appearance, Potoli pulled out his legal handgun and pointed it at the defendant after he allegedly crossed a stop line in front of the judge's bench. The incident was largely forgotten about, but Potoli couldn't leave it be. He later told his cousin, who was a college journalism student, and bragged to his colleagues at a judges conference in 2018. Potoli also lied to his colleagues, saying that he feared for his life because of the size of the defendant. The judge described the defendant as 6'9", large black man who was built like a football player, but the commissioner found that the defendant was only 6 feet tall and 165 pounds. The state's commission voted 11-1, recommended that Potoli be removed from his office, stating that his actions showed racial bias and that he has never shown any remorse for what he did. A courtroom is no place for a judge to brandish or point a gun at a litigant, said a member of the commission. The commission administrator, Robert H. T., also had some harsh words for Judge Potoli. But for the fact that it happened in this case, it would otherwise be unfathomable for a judge to brandish a weapon in court without provocation or justification, he said. Then brag about it repeatedly. Irrelevant racial remarks is utterly indefensible and incriminable to the role of a judge. The order for removal is binding unless the state's high court reverses the commission's vote. Potoli's current term will expire in 2025. And that is the end of this article right here. I didn't think that was a thing that actually happened in a courtroom, but apparently it did. The mere fact that it was something to boast about, and he was in so-called fear of his life when he holds all the power, just demonstrates his misuse of his power. And I'm glad that the commission did the right thing, and I'm glad that they seen fit to remove him. He cannot be expected under the guise of the law and the oath that he has taken to be unbiased and to judge a person based upon the facts of the case, not based on personal beliefs or personal feelings towards a person or a group of people or a racial uh, their race. Excuse me. So, in all, I'm glad that this happened. I hope it doesn't get reversed. I hope that he gets dismissed and disgraced. And since he wanted to brag about it so much, I hope that he lives with that for the rest of his life. You gave up a promising career, one of the highest honors and duties that you could ever receive. Um, in law, to be a judge, to be able to preside over people fairly and effectively, to ensure that justice is served for every man, woman, and child. Yet you chose to uh, go with your lesser feelings, your bias, and everything else, allegedly, and pull a gun out on a man that, for one, probably wouldn't have done anything or couldn't have done anything. You're in a court building. You have bailiffs and police and feds and all types of law enforcement all up in the courthouse, and you just thought you wanted to do that for what? To serve your own selfish ends and means. So it is what it is. With that being said, you guys, I would definitely like to know how you feel about this story. So please drop down in the comment section, as we always do, and let's get the discussion going. I know it's been a lot of people that's been dropping down in my comment section talking about certain stories that I do. It's not based upon race. If you fail to see the problem or the issue because it does not directly affect you, then you are a part of the problem. Just because it's not happening to you, where you live, who you associate with in your daily life, does not mean that it is not a real thing for someone else in this world. Please keep that in mind when you look and listen to my stories that I put up here, my articles. This is being told through the person that is writing the article, usually based off of interviews that they have done and the research that they have gathered for that article. So please respect their due diligence to get the story, and respect the fact that that's how it was written. That's all that I ask. Or, you'll be blocked. Either way. But thank you so much. And you guys, as always, I will get back with you in the next video.